Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the March 20th, 2014 meeting of the Lower Providence Township Board of Supervisors. Would you please all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Jeannie, could you call the roll, please, for us?
Mrs. Ekman.
Here.
Mr. Sorgini.
Here.
Mr. Duffy.
Here.
Mr. Thomas.
Here.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Here. Thank you. Okay, before this evening's meeting, the board held an executive session, and we discussed legal and personnel and real estate matters. After tonight's meeting, we will be adjourning, but then going back into exec session on a personnel matter. Okay, moving on. Item 1, we have the consent agenda. And with that, I would ask one of the supervisors to make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Make a motion that we can accept the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any questions? Questions from the audience? Yes.
Does that mean that the road isn't going to go through in Shenandoah?
So, Kathy, you're asking
That's in
item
the
E.
center agenda.
So that is an extension. That is a request by Audubon Land Development for an extension of their Shenandoah Phase 3. Actually, that's a
Phase 3 is
fa-
when they were supposed to put the road in.
Well, right now, they actually have a application that has Shenandoah Boulevard, a suggestion for Shenandoah Boulevard, but it's not a part of Shenandoah Phase 3. It's actually one of their second meadows. So they're sort of going out of order. But on that land development plan, which is in front of the Planning Commission at this time, they are showing basically an alternative to extending the road. But that's something that's going to be vetted thoroughly through the Planning Commission process, and I'm not quite sure exactly.
They're not going to build the road.
Right now, their plan does not show it going physically through and totally open to the public, but that could change as it goes through the Planning Commission process. Okay. Thank you for asking. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? All. Motion carried. We're going to have a very quick meeting this evening, I believe. So item 2 are announcements. If anyone was home this evening, you probably got a phone call at your residence from Denise with her lovely, pleasant voice. The township will be assisting residents with cleanup of branches, which were brought down by the recent ice storm in February. Branches 4 inches in diameter or less can be chipped up. And this will be done by the Public Works Department. Branches should be brought to the curbside. Once the crew has completed a roadway, they will not be able to return back around for a second time. Chipping will begin on Monday, March 24th, and a schedule of the streets and the order in which the crews will be going through is posted on the township website. Residents do not need to call the township to tell them that, they'll be having branches. They can just refer to the website, unless they have a question as to, when the crews will be coming through. We'll certainly take those calls at the township. Again, only branches can be accepted. That means no stumps or, tree trunks and things like that. Homeowners will be responsible for the disposal of other debris. And we appreciate our Public Works crew going to do that initiative for us. They did it a few years ago, and I think it was very helpful to get the township kind of cleaned up after this crazy winter that we've had. The second announcement will be, and we mentioned this last meeting, a shredding event will be held on Saturday, March 29th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the parking lot of the IBEW, 3900 Ridge Pike in Lower Providence. This event is sponsored by State Representative Michael Verb, with Lower Providence Township Police Department as a partner. Residents can also drop off unused prescription medicine for proper disposal. We have 2 upcoming meetings. First one was Planning Commission meeting, which will be March 26th at 7 p.m. Rich, do you know what's on the agenda for that?
I think there's one application on Eagleville that's on the agenda for the planning commission.
Okay.
The two ones that everybody's interested in, the Meadows and Audubon 5 are going to be delayed because they haven't completed their traffic studies yet.
Okay. Thank you, Rich. The zoning hearing board will also hold their monthly meeting that will be held Thursday, March 27th at 7 p.m. And I believe there's only one item on their agenda for that evening, and that is 2973 2nd Street, and they're asking for a change of use. Okay, item 3. Comments and other business. Rich, I believe you're going to give us a financial update.
Sure. Let me give you first the good news from 2013. I've met with a couple members of the Finance Committee. I've given them the good news. Our audit is pretty much complete. We're waiting for it to be finalized and sent over, but we've got the figures for you. In terms of expenditures, we finished well under budget at $8,871,000 versus the $9.1 million that was budgeted. That was a $250,000 savings. In terms of revenues, we finished well over. We had budgeted $9,120,000. We finished at $10,500,000. That's a surplus of $1,379,000. 2 major gainers for the year were real estate transfers. They reported at $555,000 versus the $325,000 that was budgeted. And the earned income tax reported at $5.1 million versus the $4.2 million that was budgeted. In terms of our beginning cash for 2014, we started off 2014 with a very good figure. We had budgeted $1,716,000. We exceeded that by $337,000 at the beginning of the year. And I'll give you a quick analysis of the February report, which is a little different than what I included in your packet, but it's pretty much in line. Overall, because now I've got the updated figures. When I gave it to you in your report, I didn't have the updated figures yet. Overall, expenditures are an adjusted rate as of the end of February at 17.6%, and that's pretty good. That's a little bit higher than what I would like to see it, but revenues on the other side are a little bit higher too, and they're running at 17.5%. So if we were a corporation, we would be reporting in line with our budget right now. And those are all adjusted figures, so we've got a lot of room to celebrate a great 2013. As far as 2014 so far, we're in line.
Thank you, Rich. We're trying to be a little more informational with our monthly meetings, and so that will be something you'll be seeing a little more with the update on financial situation of the township. Okay. Right. Do we have any other comments from board members?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I have 2 comments tonight. The first, I received a phone call from one of our residents who watched the rebroadcast of our last meeting, so thank you to everyone who watches. He saw that I had thanked a great number of organizations that responded to the Audubon Court fire, and he mentioned that I should also thank Chesterbrook Academy, which opened up that evening and took care of the responders as well as the displaced residents. So thank you very much to everyone at Chesterbrook Academy in Audubon. Secondly, I attended the Sewer Authority meeting, monthly meeting on March 12th. Sewer Authority reports the following. The manhole lining and mainline grouting project is now complete. Lateral repair project is beginning again now that the weather is getting better. Hopefully we won't have another winter storm or spring now storm next week. That involves lining the laterals and extending the life of the laterals pretty much indefinitely. So that will continue, as will house inspections for some pump and gutters. Additionally, the Sewer Authority is looking at renewing their electric contract and trying to save as much money as possible on the contract. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason. Also, in the past month, Jill and I and the Business Development Committee met, and maybe Jill, you want to give a, you want me to do it? Should make Bill do it. So basically, the Business Development Committee has been trying to meet regularly again. We were a little lax last year, and so we're starting to be much more regular. Two of the main things that we continue to discuss, one is the YMCA project. The township is facilitating discussions between the Y and Audubon Land Development, and from what we understand, those discussions are ongoing. This would be a potential project between two private businesses, and so the township is, trying to facilitate that discussion and do anything we can to help them through that process. So that is ongoing. The second thing that the Business Development Committee discusses is the business park. And Bill gave us a report that it is now, Park Point, thank you, is now 82% occupied. That's a very, very good number. I don't think we've ever been at that limit. Yeah, that's wonderful. So we continue to reach out to businesses that are in the township or would like to locate in the township and try to find a home for them in the business park or somewhere else in the township, because it's very important to keep those conversations going. We're also working on some outreach initiatives to keep that communication open between the township and businesses that are looking at us as potential homes. So we'll keep working on that. Let's see. Any other comments from board members? Patrick.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. On March 11th, the monthly meeting of the Park and Recs Committee was held. There is a couple upcoming events that the Parks and Rec is holding. There is a Women's Night Out, which will involve some cupcake decorating. You can go to the Park and Rec's website to sign up. I think there's still a few spots left, but it's a pretty popular event. So if you're interested in meeting up with some other women in the community and decorating some cupcakes, I recommend you checking it out. Also, the Park and Recs Committee is holding a class, I believe, starting March 30th, that involves Lego and Minecraft for young boys. I think there's still a couple spots left for that, so please, if your child or your son is interested in participating in this worthwhile endeavor, please check out the Park and Rec website. Finally, the Parks and Rec is having their annual Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 5th. I believe it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, but please check the website for the specific time that your child's age would be doing their egg hunt, because once it starts, if you've been there in past years, the eggs go quickly. So please make sure that you're there early. There will be some other events, and the Easter Bunny will be there if you want to get a picture taken with the Easter Bunny and your child. Finally, registration for Camp Perkiomen is ongoing. So please, check the website and register your child for Camp Perkiomen. This past Sunday, On the 16th, the Parks and Rec Board toured all of the various parks in the township and developed a list of items that are needed for the various parks and other initiatives that they'd like to undertake, and they're going to go back at their next board meeting and discuss that. So the next Park and Rec Board meeting will be the second Tuesday in April, which I believe is the 8th, Tuesday, April 8th. So, thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Lots of things going on. Okay, Dawn, do you
Colleen,
have
yeah.
anything to add about the library? Thank you.
Yeah, the library board met this week. I was at the meeting. They're undertaking several projects, but the most visible one right now is their annual wine tasting fundraiser, which will be March 29th, it's a Saturday night. And it's always a very well-attended event. Everybody has a good time. How could you not have a good time? They have wine. And we encourage you to stop by the library for tickets. If you purchase them in advance, they're $45. It's a $5 savings over what they are at the door. So come on out and support the library.
Thank you, Dawn. I also saw a notice that is the library hiring a new part-time employee? Maybe Kathy could.
Lynn has restructured her staff, and she had a full-time, not a full-time position, a 30-hour position that would resign. And she's split the position into two part-time positions. She's hired a part-time catalogger who started, I believe, at the beginning of the month, and she is in the process of hiring a new position, which is a reference emerging technology librarian. That will be part-time, 25 hours.
Okay, excellent. And so if anybody's interested, they should contact Lynn or check the website.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's see, what else? What other meetings? Jason and I attended the monthly meeting of the Lower Providence Fire Company on Monday. And basically, the reason we did that is we're working on improving dialogue between our emergency service personnel, hoping that we can work better with them and understand their needs and address them quickly and appropriately. So that was very successful. We were very well received and appreciated. Fire company members welcoming us. Let's see. Rich, could you give us an update on the solar project? I see that's moving along.
Actually, you're going to get an update at your very next meeting.
Okay.
Yes, we will have Matthew. Matthew will be here from Blue Sky, and he's going to give you a full report.
Excellent. Okay. Anxiously await that. How about road paving? Because that's a big issue with the potholes and a potential water project that's going to be happening in the township.
Oh, well, there's a potential water project down off of Sunnyside, all the way down through Pinetown, that we met with the Pennsylvania American Water Company on. And we're looking, in terms of the township resurfacing, we're looking to do Rittenhouse is budgeted this year for $250,000 for resurfacing. We've authorized the township engineer to prepare our bids. In addition, we're looking at paving Church, and we're also looking at paving Crawford. But that's probably going to cost another $250,000 that we don't have. So we'll probably, and I put it in my report, that I'll probably, once I get the final numbers from the township engineer, I'll probably be recommending that we take out a loan in order to finance that project, and we anticipate getting interest rates at about 2.5% over 10 years.
Okay, we'll stay tuned for that too, right, Rich?
That's correct. Stay tuned for that.
Okay. Any other comments from board members? If not, I'll open it up to the floor. Comments from the audience? Yes, Janice?
Is
Tierney, 565 Deerfield Drive. I just want to thank the board for making the Public Works crew available to remove the tree branches. I've had so many residents ask about that, if they were going to do it again. As you know, a lot of the tree companies don't want to be bothered with removing a few branches. They won't even come out and give you a quote. And it's one of those things that might seem insignificant to you, but it's one of those things that goes a long way towards quality of life. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Yes, I'm not quite sure who thought of the idea a couple of years ago, but I believe it was very successful, and we're fortunate that our crews can sort of juggle their their responsibilities and put this forefront and get it done within about a month or so and get us all cleaned up. And so we're looking forward to spring. Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, we will call for adjournment. I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
You have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, we're
No?
going into executive session.
Yes, and we will be adjourning into executive session.
Oh, did she? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Rich, for reminding me.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.